Hello, everybody. Welcome to AMD. It is me and Husson today, and we are going to be talking about Superman and Lois. I believe this is episode 2 of season 2.
Season 2.
Quick recap of the episode. We've got John dealing with some weird stuff with football players. We got Jordan dealing... Wait, did I get that right? Yeah, okay. I always get the names back and forth. Jordan's dealing with Sarah and that whole thing. We've got the mayor stuff. We've got the don't know what's happening underground. And then we have Superman getting visions and talking to his brother, Tal Rowe, I believe. I'm terrible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like...
Not Zod, but Zod. Yeah.
Zod Light, basically. But first off, what did you think of the episode?
Oh my God. Directed by David Ramsey, a.k.a. John Diggle.
No
he
way.
directed the episode.
Okay.
So very fun thing. He directed the one last season that he was in, but he's been doing his directorial debut on every single show in the CW verse. And he did another one here. Beautifully done. I think a lot of the intentionality of it, like the storytelling, is great. I'm a little bit exhausted here and there because I knew in the first episode, I think I mentioned with Benny, like they're gonna go the she's cheating on him route, and they did, but they threw in the LGBTQ plus. I was like, okay, hey, diversification. I'm okay with the CW.
Did you see that coming?
Fine.
I 100% saw that coming. I just wanted 100%. To make sure that it was.
I hoped, I had my fingers crossed that like maybe this won't be the thing. Like maybe they're not gonna go the most CW thing they could. But my biggest issue is that like she came back and she was mad at him instead of like being extra loving. Because I would have messed with it. But like, hey, it's television. It's fine. Right. It's a minor plot point. I honestly really like John. John's so chill in this show. Like his son, he's just like, all right, Jordan, whatever works. Like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. He's just like so relaxed that he's either going to blow up and become a supervillain or like something's going to happen to him because he's just the most mellow character. I love him. I like Steel. I like his dynamic so much with Lois and him, which is like very uncomfortable, but like they show it. And I like that. They don't shy away from that he looks at her. He sees his dead wife. That's dark. That's sad. That's real. And I was like, I fuck with this. And then him and Clark being friends, like enemies to buddies. I appreciate that. So overall, and they dramatically, Benny's biggest gripe of last episode, which I don't think we talked about much, was how much he hated the the daughter of Steel, who just spent the whole first episode running away and complaining. So this one, she's like this breath of fresh air, and she's very chill and relaxed and happy and like not getting involved in the drama, but still being there for Jordan and being there for Lana Cushing, not Lana Lang's daughter.
When they said that, I was like, oh, that's right. She's married and has a different last name. Like, should at least be Lana Lang Cushing. Like, that should be a hyphenated one or something.
I really want it to be Lana Lang Cushing so badly because it stresses me out. I was like, no. And the fact that it's like this actress, did you ever watch Vampire Diaries? I never did at all, but the actress Nina Dobrev, so popular. This woman looks identical to Nina Dobrev, but she's older, and she's like the most attractive woman on television right now. Yeah, Lana Cushing, wow. But I'm still used to Kristen Krug from Smallville. I'm like, got a little soft spot for old Lana, but overall, I liked it. It's fun. It's slow in some places, but it was. I have a feeling it's last season, right? We're gonna slow up and then we're gonna ramp, and we are going to hit our stride and be killing it for a while. So how'd you feel about it?
Both loved it and hated it. I love when they do the Superman stuff. I like when they do, like when they're going into the Tal Row, the mines, what's going on under there and all of that stuff. I'm really enjoying when you see Jordan using his powers. I really like that. Like what you said with John, there's something going to happen. And I think his super strength is going to start to come out because of this competitiveness between him and the Royd kid on the football team. But every time they start going into the CW stuff with like the relationships and like the awkwardness, like I can't do that stuff. I am someone that like when you see those cringy moments on TV, I get that, and I'm like, no, stop doing that. It's going to go poorly. She's going to tell you that she kissed someone. You're going to be super upset. Like, I start free. I'm one of those guys that I literally will walk out the room, walk back in. I'm like freaking out, walking around everywhere. But I those parts I'm not the biggest fan of, but I do like when they go into the Superman. I think, like you said, I think this is starting off slow because they do have to, they can't just be like, it's Doomsday. Hey,
Damn.
we've got the big bad villain. He's in the middle of Earth. No, they gotta like lead up to it, build up to it. Like you said, I do like the steal with Lois because of the fact that he very clearly is getting these like flashbacks of feelings and like looking at her and seeing that. But you can and I like that they're being very obvious about this, that he has no interest in trying to win over, anything like that. Like none of that. He knows that she's a different Lois, and you can see that pain inside. Like he's doing a great job at that acting of, you can see that pain of, like it's like when you hear like a loved one's voice when you haven't heard it in a long time, right. And you're like, oh, that's right. Like, oh, that hits deep.
What did he say? He said something like, I'll make it work or something like that. Something along those lines too. And you're right. If this was The Flash, if this was Arrow, it would be back from the other universe. I'm trying to win him back. And you know what? They'd probably have a little romantic spark. Maybe they'd share one kiss on screen because, you know, if you're not a superhero, if your girlfriend doesn't cheat on you, according to television and movies. So,
no kidding.
You know, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, I'm talking to you. That's the worst Mary Jane ever. But yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun to watch on screen. And I agree with you. The Doomsday, I'm so glad they're building that up because it's so cool. Because if you watch Smallville, season 8 of Smallville is the Doomsday season. And if you watched Supergirl a couple of seasons ago, what was that guy's name? He had the Patriot guy with the gold mask and stuff. I don't remember what his name is.
I didn't watch Supergirl. I kind of steered clear of that one.
Okay, there's this game. It's a Star Wars game, and it's about a Sith Lord, like a young Sith Lord. I don't remember. It's like a really popular one.
Knights of the Old Republic?
No. It's like Star Wars something maybe. I don't know.
Unleashed.
Unleashed. Do you remember this? The guy.
I kind of remember what you're talking about. Okay.
So that guy, he played. I think his name's Davis Bloom in Smallville, and he ends up turning into Doomsday. He is Doomsday in that show.
Okay.
And they do a very interesting thing where he like can't help but he loses control, and like originally his physical body doesn't even have Kryptonian abilities, but over time he's like regularly getting it. But he's a serial killer in Metropolis, and then eventually they use black kryptonite to split the demon from Davis Bloom. So then he has to fight like a giant monster Doomsday, and then turns out Davis Bloom's also evil, and he kills Jimmy Olsen in that show. So
oh damn,
it was this really, but like that, if you ever look up visually, that Doomsday looks really, really cool. But we never got the containment suit Doomsday, where like you're slowly breaking those pieces apart, and then you see the monster underneath. They're doing that. It's so cool that they're doing that. And this show's budget.
Yeah, I want more images of Doomsday in the flashes. Like I felt like this episode, like that when he was getting those visions, it just felt very chaotic. And compared to the last episode where you're like, oh, I can see the fist breaking through, this one just felt very much like, okay, I know that he's getting visions. I kind of know what they are, but we're just seeing rocks shaking.
Right.
Like, am I the only one kind of feeling like I want more from those?
Well, I imagine the reveal's got to be episode 3 or 4. So I think that's what it is. I think it's like if they held this out for like the mid-season and then it's Doomsday, I agree with you. That's idiotic. But if they're doing it, I don't mind that. Like, hey, let's put the curtain, let's close it even tighter for a little bit. Let's really not let you see anything, and then show you our movie monster and let him beat the ever loving shit out of Superman, because it's gonna happen. Do you think we're going Death of Superman route? Like,
I think it's too soon. I think the first season did so well. He's got such good reception from the fans of an enjoyable Superman that I think if anything we would just more lean into maybe he gets kryptonite poisoning, and like Jordan has to kind of step up as Superboy to kind of fill in that gap for the time being. But I don't think they'll kill him. Not yet. I think killing him off would be, it's not a CW kind of thing. I think if anything, he'll go into a coma. That's what they do.
Flashpoint's not a CW kind of thing, but they did it. I mean, it was the worst thing we've ever watched ever, and then they had to do it again and call it Reverse Flashpoint. But hey, they did it. But then again, it's HBO Max. They have a little bit more money. They have a little bit more time.
It's not HBO Max.
It's Max CW partnership. That's why it's got the money.
Oh, is it? Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why it has the money. So at the end of each season, it goes to Max instead of Netflix. So Max actually foots half the bill for making the show, if not a little bit more production costs. So every time the show goes on hiatus, all the episodes get put on Max, and the show comes back airing, they take it down. So right now, you can't watch any Superman and Lois. When the season's done, it'll all be up there, both two seasons. So
I don't know how I missed that announcement, because that's pretty big.
Doesn't it make sense then when you look at the show visually?
It makes so much more sense now.
How do they have money for real cameras? Like Flash looks like it's shot on this. Like this is a Sony A7 IV. Flash looks like it could be shot on this camera. Like this might be too nice for the Flash. And then Superman and Lois looks like someone showed me a side by side of like the Man of Steel in the glaciers flying scene to the Tyler Hoechlin one, and I'm like, I mean, there's a difference, but I don't see the comparable difference. And also, I'm a bigger fan of Tyler Hoechlin Superman. I like Henry Cavill as an actor. I don't think he ever got the chance to be a great Superman. I think he got a chance to look cool, but to be great, no. Tyler Hoechlin, he's my Superman now. Like Tom Welling is my Superboy. Like growing up, Clark Kent, can't help it. I love him, nostalgia, right? But he is so good in that role. The levity, the way he talks. He's so lighthearted.
Yeah.
And we don't get that in these DC shows or anything. It's like the Flash is like, my mom died and I'm Barry Allen. Like he's upset about the world. And like Oliver's like 5 years on an island. Like it wasn't 5 years on an island. You were doing so much shit. You had sex multiple times. You were not on an island alone. There were multiple different women and they were all supermodels. Oliver, I won't hear it from you, man. Not happening. But like, he's like this light character that has dark stuff happening. He lost a baby with Lois and they don't shy away from like, hey, that was really heartbreaking. And now Lois is like being super mom over here, like making her breakfast. She's like, sorry, I'm a vegan, but being super mom and trying her best. And like, they feel like a real couple in a way none of the other relationships on the CW do for me. I don't feel like Barry and Iris don't feel like a married couple to me.
No, there's always, with Barry and Iris, there's always kind of that disjointed feeling. Like you can tell like they both love each other and all that, but you never get that true relationship vibe. And like you were saying,
do they not have chemistry? Maybe that's it.
Like, I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is. There's just not or at least not the same chemistry. Like especially because
Patty Spivot, because
I miss that.
Oh my God.
I thought she was great. I actually wish she had stuck around.
Chantel Van Stanton, what a beautiful woman. And she's, I think she voices a character in Overwatch. Or not Overwatch, in Apex Legends. So people talk about her all the time.
No, okay. I have to look this up because I play Apex all the time.
The teleporting girl, whatever her name is. That's the voice of her. Whoever teleports.
She's Wraith?
Yeah, she's Wraith. Yeah.
Boom. Oh my God. Okay.
I love these, like, when I get to see actors like voice act stuff, I am obsessed. I pretty much spend half my time on IMDb just looking at like what everybody's in. Fun fact, one of the next directors of Superman and Lois is Amy Jo Johnson, aka Kimberly from the first season of Power Rangers. The Pink Ranger is a director coming up very soon, which is like, God. I'm a nerd. Somewhere on the shelf, there's literally like a Power Rangers Power Morpher, like the original one. So the voice acting and the directorial thing, there's so much overlap right now of just cool people doing cool things. But yeah, Patty, God, I loved Patty and Barry, and they never even brought the actress back. I hate that they cemented the Iris Barry relationship. I guess it was important to like what the story the CW wanted to tell, but them cementing it instead of the will they won't they, which I don't love will they won't they's, but I like characters who separate and grow apart. Iris like broke up with Eddie Eddie died. Eddie killed himself.
Well, I mean, it's a form of breaking up.
It is, yeah. The same way, Roddy died. The fact that they didn't even use that to go into like a Caitlyn Iris get closer story because both of them lost the love. That would have been so
perfect. Yeah.
I hear the actors don't like each other on set. So
really, all of them, or just those two?
Candice Patton and Daniel Panabaker have a little beef. So it's I love I don't like the drama, but I like hearing about it because then you go back and watch the show and it's like Frost and Iris never have a scene standing next to each other. They don't ever talk to each other. So you go back and watch it, and maybe the most recent season they have, because I think they've like calmed down.
I think there's been like a small couple scenes, but nothing big.
Yeah, probably because Candice Patton should have been Iris West. Like her, the girl who plays Killer Frost should be Iris West.
I was like, Candice Patton is...
No, wait, whoops, not Candice Patton. Yeah. Danielle Panabaker, I think she looks perfect for like comic book Iris. But then again, Jesse L. Martin as Joe West couldn't pick somebody better. I love that
He's
man.
super good. He's so good at that role.
These CW problems, I don't feel like they bleed into Superman and Lois. I think we're tense because we're getting a tiny little snippet of like drama, but it's not bad drama. It's fine drama, but we have PTSD from what they've done to us with these shows.
That's exactly what it is. Like whenever that happens, you get that feeling of, no, please, no. Like stay in the good lane. Don't be those guys. Because like I want to agree with what you said. Of since we've moved a little past, but I want to jump back to the don't know the guy's name, Superman.
Tyler Eklund.
He is perfect. Like he's got the perfect vibe of relaxed, calm, friendly, like kind of gets everyone very empathetic, but at the same time, when he needs to be very powerful, very intimidating, very confident, and will stand his ground. Like, no, like I'm not a pushover. Like I'm not that guy. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to save people that need saving. I don't care about your drug dealers or anything like that. If they're in danger, I'm protecting them. And like you say, I think Henry Cavill is fantastic. I think because of, honestly, his size, he's always intimidating. He's always got that presence about him. I think he would be a fantastic Bruce Wayne Batman. I'm going to say that. I think
my God, that's crazy. And I can see it.
Right?
I can absolutely see.
He's got that put together.
Too.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Like, wouldn't he be so good at that?
Right, his like natural charisma and charm on screen too. Like it's always showing, just being like a little Bruce Wayne. But then like he's so intimidating. Him as Batman would be no superpowers. We don't have to make like. I hate when they like give Batman pseudo superpowers, or they like make like a punch like fly against a wall or whatever.
Right.
But this one, like, oh my God, you could believe it a little bit. Oh, I'd love it.
That'd be so
like
good.
They say, what is Batman's? He's like peak of human, physical, whatever. Because they say the same thing for Nightwing. Like that's what they are. They're at the top level of like human physicality, whatever, normal human beings. Oh my God, I've never thought about that. I kind of want that now. But we're not going to get it.
He would be so good. Oh, we'll never get it, but he would be so perfect for that.
Oh man.
But yeah,
people are still tweeting "Restore the Snyderverse," so we're not getting anything. It's just stupid.
Oh my God, I hope not. I thought it was great, but I think it's one of those ones where it's like, maybe just finish on a high note. Maybe not try and push it a little bit.
Let me give my opinion here, because I think people are they're gonna hate me for it, or maybe they'll love me for it. At the end of the day, I didn't watch original Justice League. I only watched the Snyder Cut, so I'm unbiased and thinking like I thought the parts of Justice League that I'd seen the clips, this was better. Was it good? No. I personally think that when you get a director who doesn't like superheroes making superhero projects outside of Watchmen, which is the most nihilistic universe ever, that's a great director for that idea. You get him in this superhero universe where you're supposed to love these characters, love their stories, their mythos, their path. You're not supposed to shy away from them and their vibrance. Like they're colorful and they're happy and they have darkness. But he's just like, well, I hate them, so I'll make them suck. I mean, if you read his original plan where he's like, Superman's gonna go off and Batman's gonna sleep with Lois, they're gonna have a kid and blah 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 blah.
I did not know that. Oh my God!
So
did you
know? Dark future.
You teach me so much stuff about the behind the scenes. I love it.
I watch your channel to learn this stuff, Katie. No, I watch every YouTube
you watch
thing.
Benny do it.
I watch Benny talk about all the theories. But yeah, it's just like the original plan was that dark future that we see, like the Nightmare Batman sequence or whatever.
Right.
He comes back to Earth after leaving for some reason, and Lois is pregnant with the baby of Bruce Wayne. Or they get back together and he's pregnant, so it's like turns into this evil Superman nonsensical thing and blah, 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 blah. I think that guy's just not a good director. They want to say hashtag restore Snyderverse. Hashtag do something great with this amazing source material. Marvel is making gold out of poop. Marvel comics suck. I will go on record and say I've enjoyed maybe 4 story arcs in Marvel altogether. And other than that, it is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. It's mind-numbingly bad. And then you have the DC universe where it's like, oh my God, some of the things we do are amazing. I can't wait to see it on screen. And then it's on screen with the director that's like, what if instead of, we finally got the Killing Joke, right? This amazing animated movie. What if instead of Bruce Wayne being the altruistic hero that he is, being motivated by the love of his protege and his best friend, Jim Gordon, a man he works with, let's have him fuck Batgirl. And that's why he's upset. That's why and then the laughing at the end of the thing makes even less sense. So like, just keep people who don't like comic book characters, get out of the comic book industry. You'll make money somehow. You're great people. Zack Snyder, hey man, You're awesome. You're a great director. Don't direct shit you don't like, though. Stop it.
Yeah.
If you don't like the character, don't do it. We need Kevin Feige in the DC universe. We need
a version of him, definitely. But I
think it was supposed to be Jeff Johns, and then Jeff Johns shit the bed on that, and he disappeared for a while. So
yeah, I've heard he's a little difficult to work with, but
Ray Fisher said Jeff Johns is one of the people on his whole thing. I don't know if you saw the Joss Whedon thing came out too.
I saw that, but we'll steer clear of that because
thing. That should be a whole separate video on the channel. I think it's worth covering because of how hilarious it is.
Yeah.
Oh man,
no, all of that. But I can see your opinion on by itself without seeing the previous one. I could see not fully enjoying it. I think it's very similar to what Benny always says. Endgame. Part of the MCU and all of that, fantastic. By itself, terrible film.
Yeah.
Like Benny talks about it that way.
I like it as like a medium tier. That's for me would be like a great popcorn flick, but you're right. As a standalone, like for people who never saw it.
And if you don't know anything else, it's like, it's not a good solo movie, but obviously it had so much build up that most people were already invested enough that they were able to get into it and enjoy it.
I think, originally it was like Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, like when they marketed it originally, it's perfect like that. If you watch those movies back to back, it is a 4-hour movie. It's almost a series rather.
Yeah.
But I love that when they did that, they earned it. Someone showed me a meme where it's like end of Avengers 1, a portal opens, Thanos walks out with his blade, and then what do you call it? The universe reboots. That's what the Marvel equivalent of like the current DC universe is. Right. Like at the end of the very first Justice League movie, they did that, and you have amazing source material. You have some of the best characters ever. At this point, if they started correctly, we could have seen Dick Grayson Robin grow up. He might already be ready to be Nightwing now, but we could have seen an actor grow into the role and then have a Titans movie and a Nightwing solo movie and then
Titans movie.
Oh my God.
So much better than the show, probably.
I can't even. I will talk for another 3 hours if we want to talk about the show, because that is the finale of season 2 is the funniest thing I've watched in my entire life. The lasso in the sky. That's it. That's all I have to say. That's it.
All right. We're steering a little bit off topic with the Superman and Lois, but I think that's a good point for us to wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. This is obviously Absolute Marvel and DC, where we talk about a bunch of different Marvel and DC stuff, the shows, all that good stuff. Hassan, thank you for being here today with me, and I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the day, and we'll catch you guys next time.